Hello
All
to
right,
the peoples.
we live again.
Indeed. Anyways, now that we've talked a bit, my body's cooled down, so we should get back to training.
そういえば始めよう。休憩はもういいよ。
そうなのですか？見たところ体の熱は下がったようですが、痛みの方はまだ収まっていないでしょう。
I don't think that pain is going to go away anytime soon. Did you
No,
freak?
that feels very, very permanent as a reminder more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. One doesn't get beat black and blue and then be like, all right, I've rested for like 20 minutes. I've cooled down. Also, the pain's gone. The bruises are healed. Let's go again. That ain't happening.
We don't do that here.
構わないよそんなの。ただの内身なんだから、多少の痛みは我慢する。今の俺はほっとけば治るんだから。
Yes, he's healing automatically now, as if he was healing manually before.
Healing automatically, in fact, is what he was doing this entire time. Like, let's not pretend that isn't his one saving grace in this war so far.
Yeah. Also, that's kind of what everyone does, in fact.
Well, yes, but I don't think we heal to the point that his body does.
I agree. We're not going to be suddenly filling in a hole in our chest overnight. I agree. But
There are limits to what our liver can do, you know?
Indeed.
しかし、それで悪化しては鍛錬の意味がない。もうしばらくは様子を見るべきだと思いますが。
Please listen to your coach.
That is true.
いいからいいから。遠坂が帰ってくるまでにやっときたいんだ。あいつにはこんな姿見せられないだ
You
ろ。
know, she doesn't want to beat you up. Like, she's not doing this because she wants to. You realize that, right? Like,
Yeah. And also, how bold of you to assume that as soon as you stop, you're just going to all of a sudden not look like that. Beat black and blue.
there are limits to what we can do to make you not look like you got whooped.
わかりました。確かにいずれ敵となる凛に四郎の腕前を知られるのはよくありませんね。
Okay, okay.
多少無茶とは思いますが、そういうことでしたらペースを上げていきましょう。
Let me turn on noise suppression.
All right. Saber picks up her shinai up from the floor, but then, oh, what in the digital world?
セイバー
Think her stomach is growling. What type of growl is that?
空腹のようです。鍛錬に夢中で気がつきませんでした。
Interesting. Huh.
There is something, ain't it?
Yeah. I've never heard such a digital sounding growl in my life.
She hungers.
そういえばもう昼か。
I don't think any amount of hunger will make you sound like a robot.
You haven't met my family.
Oh, all right. I stand corrected.
Feed me, feed me, feed me.
Complete with digital growls.
Yes, of course. Every time they take a step, it's like they take a poison damage in Final Fantasy 1. Just
gosh. I can't blame her for her stomach growling. I'm not that hungry yet, but if Savory is, we probably should have lunch. And if during that time I heal more, that's even better.
いや、ちょうどいいし昼にしよう。ささっと材料買ってくるから、セイバーは今で休んでいてくれ。
シロ、外出するなら私も付き添いますが。
Saw that coming.
大丈夫、すぐ近くの商店街だ。真っ昼間から襲いかかってくる奴はいないし、セイバーがいたら逆に目立つよ。
本当に危険はないのですね。
ないって。すぐに帰ってくるから待っててくれ。
I grab my wallet and head out. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes to get to the shopping district by bike. The bicycle I take from the garage today is Unit 2. Unit 1 is still parked in front of Ryodo Temple.
Sure,
So
that'll bode well.
Yeah, especially given that his friend lives there, which is the friend that he's had for years now, which very much would and should recognize his bike.
I'm sure it'll bode well.
I bike down the hill, pedaling the entire time. I'm going 30 miles an hour. It's fantastic.
What kind of bikes do you use?
Street illegal bikes.
The only kind of bike you'd be able to use going 30 miles an hour.
I haven't gone to the shopping district midday on a weekday since I was a kid. The intersection is packed with housewives returning from midday shopping. They're coming from the neighborhood shopping near Sakura, from the neighborhood shopping center Sakura and I frequent. I finished buying a bag of groceries. Enough food to make lunch for two and a light snack. I don't buy anything for dinner since Tosaka's in charge of that tonight, but I do buy enough bread for 4 for tomorrow's breakfast. I don't know how to make strawberry jam, so I reach for the cheapest. Well, no, that might get some complaints, so I go for an expensive jar instead. Dang, you should have just got the cheapest.
I don't know what I'm buying, so I'm hoping the expensive stuff is good.
It's expensive for a reason, right?
It's expensive to swindle you, my brother.
Oh gosh. I would have just got the cheaper one. Just the spider.
Fear him, for Richard is a vindictive god, apparently.
Yes, I'm an incredibly petty man. It doesn't come up very often, but when it does.
You heard it here first.
なんだってこんな甘ったるいもんのために1000円も払わなくちゃいけないんだ。
$10 for jam? Maybe I'm just biased, but that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah? On something so sugary. Imagine not having a sweet tooth. Or in my case, sweet teeth.
Yeah, he seems like more of a gentleman who prefers bitter tastes.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I will eat them, but the sugary is always the preference.
Like, the bitterness isn't why I'm here. I'm usually eating something bitter for medicinal purposes, you know?
This is true. This is true. something, the bitterness lets you know that it's good for you. I load the groceries onto my bike as I grumble, but then I feel someone tugging at me from behind.
All right.
A random child? Question mark? I turn around, wondering who it is.
No, a very non-random child, actually.
Oh, that's terrifying. uh, I mean, she would technically count as random child. She's not from here.
She's a little too German for these parts. Might give people the wrong idea, assuming the Axis is back.
Indeed. Standing there is a silver-haired little girl.
お前は
Me too. I stumble backward, knocking over my bike. While I brace myself, the girl just looks up at me with a smile. I can't sense so much as a hint of animosity or murderous intent from her. And to top it all off, the little girl says,
よかった。生きてたんだね、お兄ちゃん。
I bet you are glad to see me alive.
You know, making sure your handiwork didn't go to waste.
Mm-hmm. She looks so happy. Me too, dude. She's definitely Berserker's master. She's the master of the monster who almost tore me in half with a single blow.
Most.
Yeah. Not the sort of person I'd expect to just run into in the shopping district in the middle of the day. Which, you know what? To a certain degree, it makes sense. She's not from here. Of course, she's not going to be like, hello, I'm Elizabeth, the transfer student. Or, no, her name's Ilya. Yeah, that's it.
I feel like you got the Veal and Beth mixed up. I understand.
Yeah, it's close enough. Anyways. Yeah, she just enrolls in the local elementary school. Like, hello, I'm a transfer student. I'm here for like the next couple weeks. I'll be out your hair soon enough. Like, of course, she's out and about attempting to be normal.
Emphasis on attempting.
Mm-hmm.
まさかここでやる気か
No, I'm pretty sure if she was, she just would have ambushed you. Or, you know, had her giant standing right beside her.
In broad daylight, even.
Mm-hmm.
おかしなことを言うんだね。お日様が出ているうちに戦っちゃダメなんだから。
But at
I'm
least
glad
she
she said
follows rules. Yeah. The little girl pouts. She's certainly acting like the little girl she seems to be. I have no idea what she must be thinking. I can at least sense that she doesn't pose any threat, though. Currently.
お前確か
イリアスフィル・フォン・アインツベル。長いからイリアでいいよ。それで、お兄ちゃんはなんて名前？
俺はエミヤシロウだけど
Oh, now you told her your name. You sold your soul. Tis,
I don't
tis.
think she's a fae. Emphasis on think, but I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. Just because you don't think that she's a fae doesn't mean that she doesn't know the type of tomfoolery that a fae would do with someone's name.
エミ シロなんか言いにくい名前だねそれ。
Ah, that's funny.
It works a little better when you actually write it down as Emiyashiro.
Yeah.
I understand. They have to actually adapt to English
Mm-hmm.
sensibilities.
Yeah. As I say, this is what a lifetime of watching anime comes in handy for. You can at least
funnier the other way.
Exactly.
俺もそんな発音で言われたのは初めてだ。いいよ。覚えにくかったらシロでいい。そっちが名前だ。
シロウ？なんだ、思ってたより簡単な名前なんだね。そうか。
Excuse me?
シロウか。うん。響きは合格ね。単純だけど、孤高な感じがするわ。
Interesting. Is this supposed to be a joke because Shiro means like white?
Man, don't look at me.
Hmm.
The girl's German. I don't know what she's thinking.
You right. Call up one of your German friends. You probably have at least one, right?
Yes. However, that's besides the point.
Oh, that's funny. I was fully expecting you to be like, no. Eliasville looks at me suggestively. You shouldn't be doing that, kid. I find myself shifting my weight so I can be ready to run in an instant, purely on instinct. I agree.
Well, at least we learned something from Saber.
She is Berserker's master. If she gets it in her head, she can probably just order him to crush me, along with the floors next to me.
そう身構えなくていいよシロ。今日はバーサーカーも置いてきたの。お兄ちゃんだってセイバーを連れてないからおあいこ。
But how do you know the Saber's not here?
She's a
Because
smart kid.
fair enough. Eliasville looks at me cheerfully.
おあいこってお前。
ね、お話ししよう。私ね、話したいこといっぱいあったんだから。
And so he is detained until nighttime, when she summons Berserker and he dies. The little girl tugs at my arm as if she were taking her father's hand.
待て待て待て待て。いきなり何しやがるお前。新手の策略かこいつは。
You know what? Me too. I too would be quite alarmed.
何って、だからお話だよ。普通の子供って仲良くお話しするものなんでしょ？
I mean, yes, but also, have you never heard the adage, don't talk to strangers? Especially strangers who have tried to kill you before.
Have we tried to kill her at this point?
It's from her perspective.
When you put it like that.
Yeah.
Diosito Santos Ricardo.
いや、それはそうなんだが、俺とお前は違うだろう。マスター同士だし、一度戦った仲じゃないか。
You want to fight a little girl in broad daylight right now, Shiro? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't think that's what he's saying. But if it came down to it, actually, I'm
Richard
not sure
smiled
what he
with
would do. He probably would just end up running, which probably for the best. He is a little bit outclassed in the master department.
That's putting it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
それは違うよ。私に敵なんていないもん。他のマスターはただの害虫。けど、いい子にしてたらシローは見逃してあげてもいいよ。
Wow. Not even a worthy opponent, just a pest.
I feel like that's the better case scenario in this case.
Maybe. She smiles wide as she says this.
も
Devious
う
little
とにかく
creature.
離れろ。お前めちゃくちゃだぞ。ないか。
I jerk my arm to throw Elias hand off. Oh no.
You
He's a-
touch the child!
He hasn't yet. He just took his arm back. She nearly falls flat on her back because of how hard I shook her off. I don't know why I did that. The next thing I know, I'm reaching for Ilia's feel. Ark, her name is too long. Yes, thank you. Your internal thoughts have caught up. Ilia's waist and try to catch her before she falls to the ground. I lower Ilia to the ground without saying a thing. Ilia is silent. I don't know what to say myself, so I just stand there, looking down at her. Well, this is awkward. So awkward, in fact, that I'm about to just turn around and leave. But then...
何お兄ちゃん。
Don't look at me like that when you ask me this.
I know. She asks with the same glow in her red eyes that she had whenever she spoke to me the other night whenever she was with Berserker. A chill runs down my spine. Since no danger earlier, but she just reminded me that she's still Berserker's master. If I cross her, I'm dead. I'd never be able to face Saber if I died in vain here, and everyone in the shopping district would get dragged into this as well. Yeah, that's a safe bet. Ilia is willing to use her powers anywhere.
わかった。話をすればいいんだろう。おとなしくするから。それでいいか、イリア。
それじゃあ、あっちの公園に行こう。さっき見てきたんだけどね。ちょうど誰もいなかったんだ。
Just the transition between devil spawn and cute, adorable child.
A little bit of a split going on here, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What in the multiple personality disorder?
You don't
Ilias.
call them that no more, Richie.
You're right.
Dissociative identity disorder, Richie.
Yes, you're right. It has been renamed.
Moon Knight taught me this. We been new.
Ilya skips off towards the park.
ほら、早く早く。
Ain't she just cute as a button when she's not being a murder machine?
Yes, she is.
I don't know, she kind of has more of an Ushanka going on than an actual German look.
Yeah. Ilya spins around as she runs through the shopping district.
当に先行っちまったぞ。
Well, yeah, you've got a bike. You can catch up. Make sure you don't leave the groceries. You spent good money on that. Also, check the jam. You might have broke it. And that would be a tragedy. I'm more moved than I am confused. Apparently, once you promise Ilya something, she treats it as the absolute truth. And that's why she just skipped off so happily. It's also why, even though she left me behind, I don't even consider taking the opportunity to run for it. I'd already promised her I was going to talk with her, and she clearly trusts that.
なんなんだあいつ。
He sure is unstable. But then again, I haven't yet gotten to an age where I'm so cynical as to betray a little girl's trust. Ilya and I are the only two in the park a little ways away from the shopping district. Kids are in school at this hour. Or maybe the park's just not as popular anymore. Our conversation begins in the tense, wintry air of the park.
話をしようって。何話せって言うんだ。セイバーのこととか知りたいのか。
え？セイバーのことってどうして？
That's funny.
You're not even thinking about it, girl.
Girl really said, I told you I wanted to talk to you about you. That's all I care to know about. My first time in Japan, you see, talking with the natives.
That.
だって
A very funny turn of phrase.
敵のサーバントの情報は知りたいと思うだろう。
何よ、そんな話は嫌よ。もっと面白い話じゃないとつまんない。
いや、つまんないって言われてもな。なら、イリアは何が面白いって言うんだよ。
Yes. What do you think is fun? And don't you dare say kidnapping people and turning them into your dolls.
Right, you remember that.
Yes, yes, I do. I don't think I ever will forget, in fact.
Goodness, you turned someone to a plush toy one time.
Oh my gosh.
私、あんまり人と話したことってないんだ。だから、何話していいかわかんない。
Oh, that's unfortunate. Small talk, not my forte.
お前な、そんなんで話をしようだなんて連れ出したのか。物事はよく考えてから行動しろって教わんなかったか？なかっただろう。なら、今からちゃんと思慮深い大人になるんだぞ。
Yes. Child, be a proper, thoughtful adult.
I feel like you're asking a lot here.
いいよだ。そういうのはシロに任せるわ。
Really just said, all right, I'm gonna say no on that, and you're just gonna be the straight man to our comedy routine. It's gonna be great.
レディーをエスコートするのは男の人の責任なんでしょ？なら、私はシロについてけばいいだけだもん。
Mm-hmm.
Is that so?
Oh. She smiles and leans against my shoulder.
Don't you get so close to me.
Terrifying. She doesn't seem like she's being touchy-feely. If anything, it's like a small animal huddling against something to stay warm. Oh. Now that I'm paying more attention, she does look cold.
いいや、もしかして寒いのか？
え？うん、寒い。私、寒いの苦
Or
手なの。
not Elsa.
Yes, correct. Not Elsa. The code does, in fact, bother her. Me too.
We're not built for that.
Very much so. She breathes out a puff of white mist. Though she says she doesn't like the code, she seems enchanted by her misting breath. I mean, who isn't?
そうか。いつもはそうでもないんだけど、今日は妙に寒いからな。寒いのが苦手なら答えるだろうけど、その、イリアはどっから来たんだ？なんか随分と貴族っぽい名前だけど。
貴族っぽいんじゃなくて、貴族だよ。
Quite literally, nobility. Do not get it twisted.
私はアインツベルンのね、古いお城で生まれたの。
Oh.
いっつも寒くて雪が降ってたんだ。だからこれぐらいの寒さは平気かな。
寒い国に生まれたのか。なら寒さには慣れてるもんじゃないのか。普通。
You really think we're used to the heat even though we're born here? Like,
Exactly. That is not how that works. We're just more predisposed to tolerating it, but that is
tolerate is like the operative word there. Like,
exactly.
nobody likes the heat.
慣れてるけど寒いのは嫌なの。私、冷たいのよりあったかい方が好きだもん。白だってあったかい方がいいんじゃない？
ああ、そりゃそうだ。冷たいよりは暖かい方がいい。
だよね。うん。だから寒い日は部屋の中で温まってるの。でも雪は好きよ。白くて私の髪と同じだって父様が言ってたから。
I clap my hands together in wonderment. Now that she's mentioned it, I realize something. I didn't know what Ilya reminded me of, but if ever there was such a thing as a snow fairy, it would probably look like her. See, she's Fae.
うまいこと言うな、イリアの親父さんは。確かに、イリアの髪は雪みたいだ。白くて、なんだか柔らかそうだし。
でしょ？この髪はね、イリアの自慢なんだから。私の中で唯一女の子らしい母様譲りの髪なんだ。
Ilya giggles joyfully. Seeing her acting this way leaves me numb. If I hadn't already seen it for myself, I'd never believe this girl could be Berserker's master.
ねえ、シロは？シロはお父さんから譲ってもらったものってあるの？あ、魔術刻印っていうのはなしよ。マスターとしてじゃなくて、お父さんとして譲ってもらったものだよ。
俺？最後にもらったのは家かな。その前は名字。で、最初にもらったのは。
A chance at living again whenever I was about to die. This is becoming a common trend for him. I was the only one Kiritsugu managed to save in the fire 10 years ago.
そうだな。イリアみたいな両親から受け継いだ肉体的な特徴はないよ。けど、それに負けないぐらい多くのものをもらってきたと思う。
Ilya looks delighted, as if it was a story about her. Who wouldn't be happy seeing a simple smile like that?
でも、今の話だと、シロは魔術刻印を受け取らなかったんだ。おかしいな。じゃあ、シロはマスターじゃないの？
Right, she is a smart cookie.
あ、いや、魔術刻印のない半人前の魔術師だけど、マスターだぞ。そういうイリアは、マスターなんだから、魔術師なんだよな。
私魔術師なんかじゃなくてマスターだよ。
Interesting. So, if she's not a mage and only a master, we got her, we got Shiro, and then now we got
Shinji.
thank you.
Listen, I wouldn't remember his name either if I weren't as deep into this as I was.
The true sign you've gone too deep. You start remembering the characters we don't care about.
Exactly.
But wow, that's crazy. That's 3 out of 7, all just masters, but not actual fully fledged mages.
She'll explain herself.
Interesting.
普通の魔術なんて教わらなかったもの。
Okay.
はあ、じゃあ親から魔術刻印を受け取らなかったのか。お城を持ってるぐらいの名門なんだろう、イリアのうちは。
そうだけど魔術刻印ってマスターになるためのものじゃないの？だからマスターだよ私。
Ilya tilts her head in confusion.
Oh.
Now I'm confused too. Ilya's words seem off. It feels like we're having a different conversation here.
なあ、イリア。一つ聞くけど、イリアはどこに住んでるんだ？どうも、
Being in a hotel for the stay of a war was crazy.
Right?
それじゃあ、今はホテル暮らしとか？
Oh, what's your reason for checking in? Oh, don't worry, I won't be here long.
Yeah, just on vacation. Couple weeks, in and out, quick adventure. But then again, I guess it's not too crazy than, yes, let me go move into this whole temple and then, quote unquote, theoretically brainwash everyone here to be like, yes, I belong here, and then set that up as my base of operations.
And let me also just casually grab the second greatest swordsman in all of Japan to be my bodyguard real quick.
Yeah, that too. Oh yeah, and can't forget about the remote siphoning of an entire town's energy. Just a little off the top, just a little bit of skimming, but still. Yeah, that's a lot. But for starters, it'd be bad if she didn't have a guardian. Letting a child like her come to Japan on her own is just terrible parenting.
ホテル？それって別荘のこと？
Like, we really are just having separate conversations here.
Truly, the words of the filthy rich. Hotel like a vacation villa.
なあ、似たようなもんだ。家じゃないけど泊まれるところ。
それならあるよ。ほら、あっちに大きな森があるよね。そこの奥におじいさまのおじいさまが建てた洋館があるの。アインツベルンのマスターはね、聖杯戦争の時はそこに住むんだって。
Alright. New intel acquired. We know her base of operations.
No,
Not that it
sure.
means much, because, you know, Berserker's there, but we know her base of operations.
Yeah, you know, low bars and all that.
Ilya points west. West. Yeah, there's a deep forest in the mountains there. The place hasn't been developed yet.
あの森って車で1時間もかかるだろう。そ こから一人で来てるのか、イリアは。
うん。今日は抜け出してきたの。セラもリーゼリットもメイドのくせにうるさいんだもん。
Are they really?
せっかく日本に来たんだから、その間ぐらいは外に出てもいいと思うの。欲しいものは何だって手に入ったけど、いつも部屋に閉じこもってたんだから、これくらいはご褒美なの。
I see. I see. So therefore, she's not here alone. She at least does have her maids, and they're at least doing her job of doing their job of making sure that she's not, wandering about, meeting strangers and other masters. Except when, she sneaks out and does so anyways.
These
Whoops.
things happen.
部屋に閉じこもってたって、イリアがか。
うん。雪が降るとね、体に悪いから外に出してもらえなかったの。だから大抵は部屋の中で遊んでたんだ。
Oh. So that includes at home as well. Interesting.
あ、でも大丈夫だよ。こっちはお城ほど寒くないから、一
I
人で
hope
も
you're
平
fine,
気だも
little
ん。
child. For now,
Hmm.
because you're not trying to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ilya breathes proudly. She swings her legs back and forth, seeming to be genuinely enjoying herself. I find myself reaching into my grocery bag. I take out the dorayaki, a Japanese pancake sandwich filled with red bean paste I bought to give Saber, and without knowing why, I hand it to Ilya.
食べるか、安物だけど。
え？何それ？食べ物？
そうだよ。甘いのは好きじゃないけど、これだけは別だ。うちは親子ともども、お茶受けはこいつなんだ。
くれるの？
Yes. So remember this next time you're about to kill me. Let me live.
Don't come to the Grail War tomorrow.
Exactly. Call it sick. I hand her the dorayaki. Ilya hesitates, but takes the unfamiliar snack.
ありがとう。
She happily takes a bite of the dorayaki. She practically devours the thing. I nibble my dorayaki and try to stop myself from being overwhelmed by the shocking thought I've just had. What thought did you have? I don't believe myself. For reasons I can't simply understand, I just found myself thinking it'd be nice to have a little sister like her.
I think you understand. I really think you do, buddy.
Yeah?
She's cute as a button, and she's not trying to kill you right now.
Yeah? And if you just remove that whole part of the equation, yeah, would be a precious baby.
けど、本当に。
I think Ilya is too innocent. She might really be an innocent young girl who hasn't learned the difference between good and evil. Honestly, I can't even begin to imagine how a mage family raises a child. But I know without a doubt that Ilya wasn't raised in a normal environment. Tosaka may act the way she does, but she's a mage at heart. She understands the gravity of the Holy Grail War and knows that the killings between masters are murder. But this girl may have become a master without really appreciating what it means to kill people. I haven't been talking to her long, Hmm?
Interesting way to phrase it.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been talking to her long, but I don't think Ilya's the sort who choose to kill anyone. I mean, assuming that she understood the gravity of it all, maybe not. Currently, however, oops, I killed someone.
Like, yeah, she stopped the killing when she accidentally hit you, but what did you think she was going to do to Rin and Saber? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You're just a lucky luck boy. That's the
イリ
case.
ア真面目な話なんだが
But then the maids appear. Ilya suddenly raises her head as if someone's just called for her.
どうしたなんかあったのか
もう帰らないとバーサーカーが起きちゃった。
All right. Have a safe trip home. I'm out of here. Runs away at light speed.
please don't forget your second bike.
Right. She jumps off the bench. Ilya runs out of the park without so much as a goodbye. She disappears in an instant. Meanwhile, Saber at home, lying on the ground, starving. I go back to the house. I decide to keep quiet about meeting Ilya. This is the sort of thing I should be sharing right away. I'm glad you understand. Now do it. But I know it, but I don't feel like talking about it. Ilya wasn't acting like a master in the park. We talked about trivial things and casually parted ways. So I hesitate to bring up what happened today to the others. I feel bad for keeping secrets, but I don't want to think of the little girl I met today as my enemy. Think of it this way: if you disclosed it, you can better prepare yourself to not treat her as an enemy. Like, avoiding her forest like the plague. After lunch with Saber, we resume our training at the dojo. And next thing I know, it's time for dinner. I rest fatigued after my training with Saber, so I take a bath to rinse the sweat off. By the time I head to the living room, dinner is ready. I'm a little moved. It's really nice to come out of the bath and find dinner ready without doing anything. It's true.
エミヤくん、夕食だけど。何よ、バカみたいに立ち尽くして。
And yet, why does she have to ruin the moment?
なんでもない夕食だろありがたくいただくよセイバーは
セイバーさんならシローの部屋に行ったみたいだけど、会わなかった？おかしいな。さっきまでここにいたけど。旅館みたいに入り組んだ家だからすれ違ったんじゃない？いいわ。セイバーは私が呼んでくるから。エミヤくんはもう一度洗面所に行ってきなさい。髪、よく乾いてないわよ。
Hmm.
本当だ悪いそれじゃあセイバーは任せた
I wait to Tosaka and step back into the hallway. As Tosaka said, the Miya house was built with all kinds of passages and corridors. One of the most notable examples of this is the various routes to the bathroom. You can get there from my room or the living room. I head to the bathroom. I don't like to use the dryer, so I just use the towel I used earlier to dry my hair. knew it.
Todd Howard, not again!
Jazz music stops. And in that moment, I forget everything that happened today.
シロ、
Are you prepared to die?
二度湯のようですが、今は私が使っています。できれば遠慮してもらえると助かるのですが。
People who are incredibly filthy.
You need a baby wipe bath at that point.
I need to explain myself. I need to explain that this is all an accident, but my mind has gone completely blank. The sight in front of me is enough to erase everything that's happened today from my mind.
シロ、湯にのぼせたのですか？耳まで真っ赤ですが、体を冷やすのなら縁側に出るべきです。
いや、そうするけど、その前に謝らないとまずい。
Okay, okay, he got the caveman DNA down.
Yep. I avert my gaze from Saber and try to calm my pounding heart.
これは事故なんだ。いや、こうして出くわしちまった時点で釈明の余地はないんで、セイバーは俺に怒っていい。
I try to keep my eyes averted and calm myself down at the same time. Saber thinks for a while, then says,
シロ、顔を上げてください。
I do as I'm told.
なんでそのままなんだ。
シロが謝るほどのことではありませんから。このような場面を見たところで、気にする必要はないと言いたいのです。
Uh-huh.
はい。
以前にも言ったでしょう。サーバントにとって性別などさまつなことだと。シロは私の体を見て慌てているようですが、私は女性である前にサーバントです。ですから、そのような気遣いは不要かと。
What is Saber saying? Even if Saber insists, the fact of the matter remains is that she's a girl. But then again, I don't think it'd be the case, but could Saber be...
聞くけど、着替え中を見られても恥ずかしくないって言うんじゃないだろうな。
Okay, put the caveman away. Put him away.
なぜ恥じる必要があるのです。
I figured as much. It doesn't matter that Saber doesn't care, though. I really do.
悪かった。とにかく謝る。次にこんなことがあったら、
Pardon?
セイバーの好きにしていい。
Winky wink. I do a quick 180 and rush awkwardly out of the dressing room. Saber stares at me oddly as I leave. We finished dinner. It was probably a typical dinner, except it didn't feel that way. I've lost my appetite since the incident in the bathroom. I had opened a window from the veranda to let the outside wind cool my head, but I need to stop. I'm going to catch a cold if I keep this up, especially since you never actually finished drying your hair apparently. So...
You're a grown man. This is a hormonal teenager.
This is true.
シロ、ここにいたのですか？
セイバー、なんだよ。俺になんか言おうか。
That mild heart attack that he just had.
私ではなくシロにあるかと。いいのですか？夜はリンに魔術を教わるという約束だったはずですが。
Oh, yeah, this is true. The training arc does indeed continue. I smack my forehead.
すっかり忘れてた。サンキュー。今すぐ行ってくる。
I rush to the outbuilding and head upstairs. I knock on the door to the guest room that Tosaka has taken up occupancy
シ
in.
ロいいわよ。ちょっと今手が離せないから勝手に入って。
Tosaka's voice sounds from inside the room, but she sounds a little unnerved.
Now that's not safe for work for other reasons.
Indeed. I walk in to see Tosaka holding a jewel in one hand, a syringe in the other, and a handkerchief in her mouth.
質問していいかな、遠坂。
Just the delivery. Tosaka, I got questions.
待って、今日の夜はこれで終わりだから。
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm almost done with some
Today?
Yeah, today's, yeah. Oha. She sticks a needle in her arm as she speaks, her mouth full. She draws blood into the syringe. Tosaka slowly drips blood from the syringe onto the jewel, then grips it tightly. Whoa. She turned invisible. A wave of vertigo washes over me. I can tell it's a ripple of magical energy.
これだけやってもまだ3割か。やっぱり手持ちの9つだけでやっていかなくちゃダメみたいね。
Interesting. Tosaka slumps her shoulders in disappointment and puts the stone back into a jewelry box.
遠坂、約束通り教えを請いに来たんだけど。
But before we get to that, I'm curious about what I just saw.
ええ、待ってたわ。昼間はセイバーと体の方を鍛えてたんでしょ。なら、夜は中身を鍛えないとね。
Tosaka seems happy, ready to teach. Saber says she wasn't good at teaching, but I'm guessing this will be the total opposite. Anyway.
さて、それじゃあ何から行こうか。確かシローは強化の魔術しか使えないって言ってたけど。
いや、その前にちょっといいか。やっぱり気になる。遠坂さ、さっき何してたんだよ。注射器を自分に刺すなんて危ないだろ。
え、あれ？あれは魔弾を作ってただけよ。うちの魔術は力の流動と転換だからね。こうやって余裕があるときは自分の魔力をよそに移しておくのよ。
待ってくれ、その魔弾とか魔力を移しておくってなんだよ。
魔弾は魔弾よ。魔力のこもった玉。
Okay.
宝石は人の念が宿りやすいって聞いたことない？実際宝石は魔力を貯めやすいものなんだけど、うちの家系はさらに相性がいいみたいなのよね。魔力を込めるっていうのは、例えば今日一日何もしなかったら体力は余ってるでしょ。その余った分の力を宝石に溜め込んでおくの。
Efficient. Why waste the extra energy whenever you can store it away and keep building more?
これを何日、何ヶ月、何年と続けて宝石自体を魔術にするのよ。もっとも宝石自体にだってキャパはあるし、自分から離れた魔力なんてものは操れない。宝石に込めた魔力っていうのはあくまで大魔術を瞬間的に発動させるためだけのイグニッションに過ぎないけどね。
Interesting.
要するに自分の魔力を宝石に込めてバックアップを取るってことか。
バックアップ、近いけど違うっていうか、使い捨てのリュックサックの中身を詰めてるだけよ。
じゃあ一時的にハードディスクを増設してるってことか。すごいな。それなら魔術なんて使いたい放題じゃないか。
Quote unquote, as long as there's more gems. But unfortunately, they too are a finite resource.
ハードディスクあんたの言ってることはよくわからないけど、そこまで便利なものじゃないわよ。魔力は宝石に込めた時点でその宝石の属性に染まるから用途は限られてしまうわけだし。
Interesting. So the jewels themselves have affinity. I guess this makes sense. Like a sapphire is probably like water, a ruby fire, and so on and so forth.
それにしても驚いたな。魔力っていうのはそういう風に貯めておくこともできるものなんだ。そんな便利なことなんで他の魔術師はしないんだろう。
自分以外のものに魔力を貯めるっていうのは特殊なのよ。シロの強化だって物に魔力を込めているってことでしょ。通常ね、魔力の通ったものは何らかの変化をしてその魔力を使い切ってしまうものなので、うちの家系はそうならないようにうまく宝石に魔力を流動させて永続的なものにしているんだけど、他の魔術師だって自分の体になら同じようなことはできるわ。それが魔術刻印。あらゆる魔術師が持ってる魔術のバックアップじゃない。
魔術刻印。ああ、親が子供に譲るっていう秘伝の話だな。俺それはないからどうもピンとこないな。
ちょっとあんた今なんて言ったの？
What did he say? I missed it. Hold on.
He just let the cat out the bag. He doesn't have a magic crest. So we're having a repeat of earlier today.
Just, more dire response, it looks like.
Yes. Because this one is a little older and has actually studied magecraft. She knows the implications thereof are a lot heavier.
いや、魔術刻印はないって言ったんだが、親父は持ってたみたいだけど譲られはしなかった。
Tosaka catches her breath, but then the next minute, she seems to understand.
道理で素人同然のわけだ。じゃあ本当に一からやってるのね。
Ouch, first of all.
なら確かにしょうがないか。
I mean, insert most power fantasy anime here. I start from the bottom, now I'm here. The most powerful guy around.
Don't set your hopes so high for him.
I mean, I understand that the power fantasy is the servants, not the masters.
I'm not even sure how much power fantasy this is gonna be.
Good question. I don't know either. But given what I've seen so far, it's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. Make a localized typhoon, hurricane, tornado thing. Signature move, your heart. It has been pierced, guaranteed.
Now that you said that, it occurs to me just how obsessed people are with hearts in this collective series. Carry on.
Yeah, hearts are cool. They kind of are essential for life or something.
父さか、俺に魔術刻印がないってずいぶん前に気がついてたんじゃないのか。
そんなわけないでしょ。知ってたら一人でなんか行動させなかったわよ。そりゃ半人前だなって思ってたけど、
魔術刻印がないならそもそも魔術師じゃないじゃないシロは。
Well, excuse me, princess.
That's funny. She huffs and looks at me, seeming to be complaining. But what is this? Her voice sounds almost warm, like she's a little bit relieved, like she's jealous I'm not a mage.
まあいいわ。そういうことなら一から説明してあげる。魔術刻印が何なのかを知るってことは魔術師ってものを知るってことだから。はい、シロはそこに座って。大事な話だからちゃんと腰を落ち着かせて聞くこと。
Alright, break it down for me.
ここでいいのか？よし、始めてくれ。
I brace myself and look straight at Tosaka. Tosaka nods approvingly, satisfied by my show of seriousness.
じゃあ簡単な話から入るけど、魔術を使うのに必要なものが魔力だってことは知ってるわよね。魔術さえ発動させられるならそれらはすべて魔力と言い換えても差し支えはないわ。
Interesting. That's a very loose definition. And
Well, it's a
by
very
it,
loose system.
What were you gonna say?
No, it's a very loose system.
Yeah, fair enough. Because by that definition, you can just grab like a jar of honey, and as long as you can activate your magic with it, behold, this jar of honey is magical energy.
Well, think about kinetic energy and how, it forms from potential energy, right?
You right?
You hold a hammer above your head. It might not look like you're doing nothing. But guess what? You tilt that a little bit forward. What's going to happen to all that kinetic energy?
Ah, yes. Bonk.
El kabong!
Fantastic.
Alternatively, you get the good old, I have the power!
You right. You right. What a throwback. What a throwback.
魔力の種類は千差万別。自分だけの精神力を持って魔術を使用する者もいれば、自分以外の対価を持って魔術を使用する者もいる。
Okay, okay. Equivalent exchange and all that jazz.
ここまでは知ってるでしょ？
マナとオドのことだろ。マナが自然、世界に満ちてる魔力。オドが個人が生成できる魔力だ。
Very
Okay.
important distinction.
Right, right.
そうそう、よくできました。じゃあそのマナを用いた魔術から順に説明しましょう。いい？シロ。積み重ねた歴史が浅い魔術師。要するにシロのことね。はすでに形あるものを持って魔力となすの。これは古くからシステムとして確立している儀式。供物を持って神秘と接触する方法よ。
Okay.
自身の力だけでは足りないから代価を用意して取引するというフォーマルクラフト。これなら術者の魔力が希薄でも魔術は作用する。何しろ使用する魔力は自分からではなくマナから借り受けるものだから、術者はただ儀式を行うだけでいい。
A ritual cast, if you would.
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
けどまあこういうのは知識がないとできないからね。シロにはまだ無理だし、そもそもこういう血生臭いのは向いてないわ、あなた
Death
に
is
は。
always near.
Yeah. Yeah.
だな。俺も鳥の生贄とか魔法陣を敷いて一晩中祈るとか、そういうのはやりたくない。
Yeah, no, well, you're not in the prequel anyway.
Nani? Uh-huh. So what I'm hearing is one day, far in the future, once we finish this, see what in the world you're talking about in Fate Zero, I presume?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, just
Yes,
hey
sir.
hey 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 oh god of chickens, hey 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 grant me the might to see the king of conquerors, hey hey.
Oh, now that is an absolutely hilarious image. But forget King of Conquerors. If I'm sacrificing chickens, I might as well just summon a cuckoo. And then all shall die. Because one does not. Huh?
Why not the red chocobo from, you know, the race?
You know what? That would be a good alternative as well.
You get to ride it, and you get to go into combat.
This is true. This is true. Well, the cuckoo is just like you throw it at someone and wait for them to accidentally hit it, and then it's like, ah, yes, the swarm of chickens to kill my enemy.
じゃあこれは置いといて、次はオド。つまり魔術師個人の力で行う魔
Or
術
spell
のこと。
slots, if you would.
Yep, yep, yep.
もう言うまでもないと思うけど、これが私やあなたの基本的な魔術講師よ。シロの強化は他者の力を借りないでする自身の魔術回路だけを頼りにした魔術でしょ。
Right, and we have confirmation he makes his own circuits too, so like.
Yeah, you know, just let me go out to my garage real quick and hammer these metal stakes into my spine. Tap, tap, tap.
Oh yeah, by the way, I could die doing this.
Yeah, you know.
But hey, that you know, theoretically that means he does have extra spell slots, but at what cost? He's literally a coffee lock at that point. Except, you know, it's like if every time you had to save up a spell slot as a coffee lock, you had to flip a coin instead of rolling a d20. If even that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would balance things.
Yeah. 50-50 chance you just die.
Heads, you get the spell slot. Tails, you fail 3 death saves.
Or if the DM is feeling generous, they'll make it like just 2 death saves. So it's like, all right, now let the combat begin. You've been ambushed in the middle of the night. You better hope and pray you don't go down. Oh gosh. I nod. It seems she's getting into the nitty gritty stuff now.
その自分だけの魔力を生成する機能。魔術回路っていうのは先祖代々受け継がれる遺伝体質なの。
Yeah, so the idea is like, even if you're, you know, you have a younger and thus weaker family line, theoretically, eventually you'll have powerful grandkids.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's why Shinji is so mid, because that passing down hasn't been working so well.
Yeah, the seed is not strong.
Indeed. Inferior.
King Bobby B sends his
何代も
regards.
重ねて使われてあるより強さを増して子
One of
孫に
these
継
days
承
I'll
され
make
る
you
わ。
watch Game of Thrones and you'll understand who Bobby B is.
One day. Magic circuits are forged over many generations and get more powerful as they're passed down to the next generation. So on. Okay.
魔術師の家系の子供はそれだけで魔術に適した人間ってわけ。フェアじゃないけど、私とシローはスタート地点からして違うってことよ。
Yeah, that tracks.
それは知ってる。気にしてないから話を続けていいぞ、父さんが。
He's not the jealous type. Not
Mhm.
over this, anyway.
Yeah.
別に気にしてなんかないけど。 まあいいわ。それでね、そういった魔術回路とは別に、その家系が代々鍛え上げてきた秘伝の魔術っていうのがあるのよ。
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. The insert family here, magecraft style. Blah blah blah.
Your emerald splashes of the world, so to speak.
No one can dodge the Emerald Splash. Actually, you know what? Now, since you mentioned that, Tosaka 1000% is in fact the user of Emerald Splash.
You... Oh my god! I must commission someone to see her with Hierophant Green now.
Oh gosh. And then like the little speech bubble of like, why couldn't he have been red? Like my whole color scheme is red.
Why couldn't he have been red? Then she looks over to see Magician's red. Oh, that'd be fucked up, giving Magician's red to Shiro.
Yeah?
Let me just casually remind you of your trauma just by existing. Squawk.
Just like that. Squawk.
He'd get along with Silver Chariot, probably.
Yeah, I can see that. Though I could definitely see him with like a more low-key type of stand, like Hermit Purple.
You know what? That does fit his aesthetic of taking useless-ass magic and making a use out of it.
Yeah.
He would be the only one still using Hamon in the year of our Lord 2004.
Oh man, that's funny.
さっきの宝石と似てるかな。一つの魔術を極めるとね、魔術師にはその魔術が手に取れるようになるの。
Okay, yeah.
本来なら形のないただの公式に過ぎない魔術を手に取れる感覚ってわかる？
You tell me, Shiro, have you felt that before?
You know what a woman's touch is like? Sorry, what?
Oh my gosh.
ご名答。
Bing bong.
扱われる式という域を超えて、もはや自分自身となった魔術っていうのは形に残せるのよ。それは不安定な魔術を確立させる偉業であり、同時にその魔術師が生きた証でもある。
Interesting.
I guess it'd kind of be like if you suddenly grew wings, you'd have to learn how to control a body part which you have no basis to think of.
Right. But once you do master it and are able to use them functionally, it's like, aha! I got wings.
In the words of Sirio Farrell, the first sword of Bravos, the steel must become part of your arm. Can you drop a part of your arm, girl? I did not think so.
Exactly.
で、魔術師は死ぬ間際に自分が成し得た偉業を刻印として後継者に譲るのよ。これをやるから自分が成し得なかった地点に到達しろ。もしかしたらわしが残した刻印が何かの役に立つかもしれんってね。
Okay.
まあ残した方も残された方もそんな刻印が何の役にも立たないって分かってるんだけどさ。
Oh, wow. Here's this crest. We all know it's useless, but take it. It is my last hormone.
なんだよ。それだけすごい刻印なのに何の役にも立たないのか。
つわよ。普通に魔術師やってれば刻印一つで左打ちはっていうぐらい役に立つわ。
What you just said.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like, kind of double talking yourself. Break it down for me. Is it useful or is it not?
Come on, Soprano.
まあけどそれは自動車をもらったようなものなのよ。
Okay, thank you.
どんなに地上を速く走れても月にはたどり着けないんだから。
Okay.
Diminishing returns, that's what she means. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
いいから話の続き。
She's thinking a little too high concept here. She's not understanding just how zero is, I think.
Right?
もう分かったと思うけど、その刻印っていうのが魔術刻印なの。その家柄の当主が一生をかけて完成させた魔術を刻印にして子孫に譲り、子孫はさらに次の魔術を完成させて刻印を増やし、また子孫に継承する。
And that's how it becomes the cumulative knowledge of all of your ancestors, essentially. Okay. Okay.
そうして複雑さを増し、深い歴史を刻んだものが魔術刻印。魔術師にとって逃れようのない縛りってこと。
Okay.
つまり魔術刻印にはその家系のすべてが記録されているってことか。
ああ、それは違う。家系の記録はちゃんと書物で残してるわよ。
It's not
魔
a
術刻
Assassin's
印がある
Creed.
のは単純に魔術だけなの。
Yeah, basically.
勝手に呪文詠唱をしてくれたり、自分が習得していない魔術も使えたりするだけ。
Okay.
You know, using Quicken Spell on a ritual cast does sound pretty useful.
That's what I'm saying. And now that I think about it, that does make a lot more sense because whenever Ren was in the process of summoning Archer in the prologue, she was using her crest to help support the ritual itself, make sure that she did it right. Unfortunately, the game was rigged from the start, so
Hey, she
Kinda
got a
screwed
4
up.
star.
yeah, this is true. She could have done a lot worse.
It's
But
just
she-
at least right now he looks like a 3 star.
Yeah,
We ain't really seen him work.
quite true. Yo, Archer, when you gonna recover?
Not the black scent. Yo, watch, I'm happy for you and I'm gonna let you finish. But Saber's the greatest servant of all time. Just look at him. No, this bitch did not just Beyonce me.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
わかりやすく言えば、自分の体に魔法陣を刻んでいるようなも
おい
のかな。
おい
Okay, okay.
それじゃあさ、別に刻印は誰に刻んでもいいってことにならないか。魔法陣なら形さえ知っていればいくつでも書けるじゃないか。
And have the magical energy to feed it. But in theory, yeah, that seems relatively correct.
それがそういうわけにもいかないのよ。
Darn.
魔術刻印っていうのはね、生き物みたいなものなの。臓器を移植することに近いわ。
Take it. I'm about to die. My magic organ.
You know, just casually take my entire nervous system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, because it also includes... Well, no, it wouldn't include the full magic circuit collection, because you will be born with that.
Right, no, the circuits are the nervous system, you're right.
Hmm.
The crest is more like... What, the pituitary gland?
Maybe? I don't know. It's been so long since biology.
I got a whole spine thing going on. I should know this.
Yeah. Eric says, whenever we finish this in 3 years. Which, you know what? That would not be too bad. Like a year for each part, because aren't there like 3 different paths that can be taken here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
臓器は一つしかないものだから、何人かに分け与えるとか写本するとか、そういったことはできないの。心臓を2つに分けても意味ないでしょ。結局、
You right.
分けても機能しなくなるだけなんだから。
そうか。確かに。それじゃあ遠坂にもその刻印は移植されてるのか。
移植ってのは我ながら後ろ向きな例えだったわね。
I'm a bumpkin. What do you want from me?
Yeah. Eric says, how am I supposed to know the human body? I'm no astronomicist.
We love you, white boy. We love you.
私の場合は左腕、肩から手までびっしりね。ただ魔術刻印は使わなければ浮かび上がらないから、霊樹と違って隠す必要はないわ。
Damn,
Wow.
she got the par treatment then.
Yeah. Out here with the whole sleeve.
まあそんなわけだから、魔術師の家系っていうのは一子相伝だったりするの。その家に兄弟がいた場合、どちらかは魔術を教えられずに一般人として暮ら
That's
すのが
why
常なの
Shinji
よ。
sucks, despite
だって
Sakura
魔
not
術
being
刻印
involved.
を渡せないんだから、魔術師として大成されてもあまり意味がないもの。
Interesting.
まあ、それはシンジも言ってた。そっか。そういう理由でさくらは教えられなかったんだ。
ええ。けどマトウの家は何代か前から刻印の継承自体が止まってるわ。だからシンジに教えられたのはマドウの知識だけなんでしょう。
So it would have stopped with his grandpa. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
ほんと、そういう手合いが一番厄介なのよね。魔術ってものを実感できないくせに魔術を使おうって言うんだから。
Like, at least Shiro has an idea of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's just limited in his scope.
Right. Because, he's literally starting from zero.
But that is something else to keep in mind, though. He's working with what his body is already good at.
Yes.
It's just a useless ass skill.
At least according to anybody and everybody that you ask. It has its uses.
According to conventional knowledge, but this is not a
Yes.
conventional man.
Exactly. He is, in fact, built different. He's been modding his body, in fact.
He's been thinking outside the box for as long as there has been a box.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, if you're still around, hop in chat once we finish stream, Eric. Apparently he needs to vent his frustrations. Tosaka sighs a deep breath, swirling quietly.
さて、魔術を教えるってことだったけど、ちょっと予定が変わったわ。シローに魔術刻印がないんなら、違った方針を立てないといけないし。
Shock therapy?
今夜はここでお開きにしま
Never
しょう。
mind.
明日までにはいろいろと用意しておくから、それまで待ってちょうだい。
I don't think Shock's therapy is going to help.
遠坂がそう言うんならうなずくしかないんだが、なんだよ、そのいろいろ用意しておくっ
Rin
て。
feels like the best and worst person to trust completely.
Correct.
だから
See?
いろい
Look
ろ
at
よ
that face.
刻印がないってことはあなたスイッチできないんでしょ。体の中身
Nintendo?
をいじるんだからお薬とか矯正器具とか必要じゃない？
Oh. So now he's been modding his body. Now she's about to start modding his body. Oh boy.
You know, both with very different ideas of what conventional modification should look like.
Yeah. And theoretically, her ideas won't run the high risk of killing him.
Who taught you shocking grasp before levitate?
You mean shock and grasp the cantrip? I think it is. And levitate the what? Level 2 spell?
Listen, Orpheus, the wizard who did not have a single ranged spell until he picked up catapult.
We don't use him as an example.
I feel like he's the most relevant example when we're talking about Shiro.
You know what? You're right about that. He would be Shiro.
The difference is he actually got through studying instead of having to brute force it. Sorry, go on.
A chill runs down my spine.
何？嫌だって言うんならやめるけど、その場合私が教えてあげられることはなくなるわよ。
いや、嫌だけど、頼む。遠坂の言い分は多分正しい。
じゃあ明日はそれで決まりね。そうだ、あなた明日もセイバーと剣の鍛錬をするつもり？
ああ、そうだけど、学校の結界も気がかりだけど、発動するまでまだ時間がある。それまで少しは戦えるようになっていたいんだ。
まあいいけど、その割にはセイバーとはうまくいってないようじゃない？
それは、
夕食前までは普通に話せてたのに、夕食から妙に黙り込んでたし。念のために聞くけど、あなたたちうまくいってるんでしょうね。いざ戦闘って時に仲違いされたら、
This little
私たちま
couple's
で被害を
quarrel,
受ける
stay
んだ
out
か
of
ら。
it.
Yeah, exactly. No need to be alarmed. Yet. It's just that something happened right before dinner and now things are awkward. That's all. But I'm not sure if Saber and I are really getting along. When I spent all day dueling her, I think I got a sense of what Saber is like. I trust Saber as an ally. No question about that. But if someone asked me how I feel about Saber in other senses, I wouldn't know how to answer. Because I lost all sense in that very moment.
難しいな。そういう遠坂はどうなんだよ。セイバーのこと好きなのか？
好きよ。だって嫌いになる要素がないじゃない。強いし礼儀正しいし綺麗だし、うちの皮肉屋とは大違いだわ。
Alright, Archer, this is the perfect time for you to just show up here all of a sudden. I know that you're back at the mansion, but just show up here and be like, who is out here bad mouthing me?
Speak the devil's name.
そうか。遠坂はセイバーが好きなのか。
何よ、素直に好きな部類だって言っただけでしょ。あなたね、そのストレートな物言いは直しなさい。いろ
He
いろ
really
敵を作り
can't
やすいから。
decide whether he wants to be more American or Japanese.
uh,
お断りだ。もともと口下手なんだよ、俺は。
I refuse.
I guess he's more American now.
Yeah.
Just put another naked saber in him, he'll turn Japanese again.
嫌味とか秘密とか口にしなさそうだものね。シロ。
Yeah.
ええ、どうせ私のことなんて口うるさい嫌味なやつだとか思ってるでしょ。
I mean, loud, not so much. Annoying occasion.
No commento.
なんでさ、俺東坂が言う分には好きだぞ。なんかさ、そうじゃないと東坂じゃない気がするし。
That is true. If you said it any other way, it'd be like, who are you and what have you done with Ren? Now, if only Archer were here to witness all of this.
You flip your hair at me? Crap.
I might have struck a nerve. Sasaka turns away, pouting. But I have to admit, I feel a little better. Even happy, knowing that Tosaka likes Saber.
He's all about the morale front.
Mm-hmm. The day ends. I still feel uneasy with Saber sleeping so close by, so I escape to the shed. Why do you feel so weird about it? Not like she's gonna attack you in her sleep.
He saw her naked. He just barely got over the fact she was sleeping, one wall away. Like, I know Tao isn't technically naked, but there was nothing under there. We can agree.
Yes. I stop and look up at the winter sky. Not because the night sky is particularly beautiful. I'm just feeling the winter chill in a daze, doing nothing, because it calms me. I don't know how much time passed. I think I hear footsteps in the darkness. Use your dodge roll to the left. The attack's coming from the right.
I was thinking to the right. You say dodge roll, we thought very different instincts. One of us is gonna get splatted, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. There's no answer. Footsteps approach and I feel a piercing sense. Or presence. I crouch, ready to jump back at any time. Oh, see, he's gonna jump back. He's not even gonna do the dodge roll.
Just backstep, just hit circle.
Yeah. There's still no answer. The footsteps never stop, and the person finally appears before me. Hey, there he is.
And he shall appear.
And he shall appear. A little bit delayed, but he finally made it. Welcome to the party.
Remember your reaction when I texted you about it and you were like, he's finally recovered?
Exactly. He's finally recovered. It's the servant who fought Lancer at school the other night. The red armored knight Saber beat when she leaped over the wall.
What's up, dude? You want some brewskis?
Oh gosh. The man's lips curve upwards. He smiled. Can I take that as confirmation? Something about him annoys me. Dang.
You just met him.
Yeah. For no reason I can really understand, I find myself irritated. I can't make myself like this guy. Dang.
Because he's brown, ain't it?
Dang. Well, Shiro's name is in fact Shiro. I never talked to him before, and he's never attacked me before. But I realized something the instant I see his face. I can't respect this man. Wow. Them some strong words. There's no reason for it that I can think of, but he and I aren't going to get along. I'm probably not the only one who feels like this. Archer probably feels probably feels the same way. There must be a total of 3 people in the world with whom I'm just completely incompatible. 3 people?
The priest is one.
Yeah. That tracks. And we got Archer as another.
I don't know who number 3 is.
Yeah. That's how bad it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he was irritable around me too.
He, in fact, has been keeping guard on the house, by the way.
Yeah. That's right.
無論そのつもりだ。私の傷が治り次第、このくだらん協定も終わらせる。故に、お前と話すことなどないと、今まで
The
傍観してい
mutual
たのだ。
hostility.
I know. What you got against my boy?
なんだ、遠慮しないで傍観してろ。俺もお前と話すことなんてない。
Like, respectfully, I know why he wouldn't like you, but...
Yeah.
見逃さないことがあってな。
Oh.
お前、サイバーには戦わせないらしいな。
I see.
悪いかよ。
My reply is impulsive. Glares. With a fair amount of hostility, Archer makes it clear he sees right through me.
やはりな。小僧の考えそうなことだ。
Who are you calling Kozo?
Yeah.
他人の助けはいらない。できることはすべて自分でやる。加えて、犠牲者は一人も出したくないか。虫唾が走るな、その思考。
All
お前に
right,
言われる
through
筋
you.
合いなんかないぞ。
Yeah.
Oh, he's mad, too.
I know.
俺は俺が正しいと思うことをするだけだ。文句を言われる言われはない。
筋合いはある。同じサーバントとしてセイバーの苦労は理解できるからな。お前のようなマスターではセイバーの負担も大きかろう。
KO. He's not lying. But what really ticks me off is that I don't want to hear this from him, of all people.
ふざけるな。俺はセイバーに負担なんてかけていない。
Really?
あいつの代わりに俺が戦うんだから、それでいいじゃないか。
Really?
That...
戦わなければ傷つかないとでも。サーバントは戦うためだけの存在だ。それから戦いを奪うことこそ冒涜だが。まあ、お前に言っても始まるまい。
Yeah, that's true. We have been around this mountain quite a few times. Having said what was on his mind, Archer falls silent. A few minutes pass. The two of us just stare at each other. I gulp. His cold stare seems to be trying to probe my insides. Is this the kind of scene that writes the fan fiction?
You have no idea.
And then suddenly,
それで どうなのだセイバーのマスターよ。
The Red Knight seems calm as he asks his question.
どうって何が？
お前は本気で戦わずにこの争いを終わらせるつもりか？誰とも争わず、誰も殺さず、誰をも殺させないと。
争わないとは言ってないだろう。戦う時は戦う。
なるほど。それで戦っても誰も殺さないと。
そうだよ。なんか文句あるか？
お前の甘ったるい考えに邪魔などせんよ。そんな余裕はないし、そこまで推強ではない。
Good call. Archer turns his back to me.
だが間違えるな。お前が気取る正義の味方とはただの掃除屋だ。その方法で救える者は生き残った者だけと知れ。
Called you a hitman.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it felt like Archer was just beating up on me for no reason.
Not for no reason.
There was plenty of reasons. He, in fact, listed them off to you.
待てよ。正義の味方のどこが掃除屋だって言うんだ？
お前も気がついているはずだがな。いいか、その方法では悲しい出来事、悲惨な死を元に戻すことはできない。もともとそれが限界なのだ。正義の味方なんてものは起きた出来事を効率よく片付けるだけの存在だ。お前はお前が救いたいと思うものこそ絶対に救えない。
You know, that does make sense. You can only champion justice whenever, you know, something.
Injustice is wrought.
Yeah. So if you're always on the back foot reacting to the injustice, then you'll never actually be able to.
Yeah, you'll save people, but you won't be saving the people who have been wronged.
Yeah. And depending on what form it took, even if you do manage to save the survivors, there's no coming back for the people who got. That's not true. The idea that you can't save the person you're reaching out to save is wrong.
理想論はあくまで理想に過ぎない。お前が理想を抱き続ける限り、現実との摩擦は増え続ける。お前が取ろうとしている道はそういうものだ。
Time to hydrate, gotta stretch. Oh my gosh.
Diosito Santos. Do I even have a drink? Okay, good idea. See, I've mainly known the word dysphoria in a gender context, right? But generally speaking, dysphoria as an overall concept refers to, the difference between your, ideal and reality. That little grinding feeling. It's just that it most strongly associates with gender for a lot of people. Like in this case, it is a form of dysphoria.
Indeed. Yeah, that certainly is the truth. I had to run to get some water, but I was listening.
つか現実に直面し、その折り合いのツケを支払う時が来る。お前のその選択が多くの命を奪うこともあるだろうよ。
Is this what they call the foreshadowing?
I know, right?
Especially when a certain bounded field is over a school and is set to go off in a few days.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device that. This isn't even necessarily foreshadowing for this route. Like, this is just the crux of the series, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
覚悟ぐらいはしておけ。己の歪小さを実感したとき、まず何を正し、誰を罰するかと。それができぬようなら、その夢も、その魔術も、今すぐ捨てるのだな。
Archer disappears into the darkness.
いいか。誰が何をしようと、救われぬものというのは確固として存在する。お前の理想で救えるものは、お前の理想だけだ。人間にできることなど、あまりにも少ない。
Yeah?
それでも。
おい、待てよ。お前、何を言いたいんだ。
My question is swallowed up in the darkness. Archer is already gone. I'm just talking to empty air.
なんだあいつ。言いたいだけ嫌味を言って消えやがって。
Just trying to educate you, boy.
Mm-hmm. He was telling me that my thinking is too idealistic, and I'm going to suffer for it soon. But how can I decide something is wrong before I've even tried it?
覚悟はできてる。俺が間違っていた時は、この命を差し出すだけだ。
I gotta get the Fushikudo quote. Hang on.
Yeah. While you look that up, that really is just how it usually goes. It's like, yeah, I'll pay for the mistake with my life. Unfortunately, it's usually never you that pays the mistake. It's the people around you.
Dying to win and risking death to win are completely different. There we go.
Yep.
Thank you, Gojo Satoru.
Exactly.
And also,
we're being raided.
Oh dear. Hello.
Yeah, with a party of 8 this time.
Goodness.
Yeah, Arcanine bringing the squad. Welcome.
Happy to see them again. Is it just me, by the way?
Hmm?
Does that feel like our most likely Chinese knight got some of his memory back?
Not the conclusion that I would have reached. I just assumed that this is just, life experience talking.
Life experience, not necessarily memory. Just it's so deeply ingrained in him, he doesn't have to remember who he is.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess that's right. Like, oh, my poor throat. Hang on. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Just, I guess the regrets kind of seep in.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't necessarily thinking memories of, like, who, but more memories of what happened.
Yeah.
Important distinction.
Yeah. I could certainly see it.
Oh, China. What did you give us?
A tan man. That's what.
A tanning bed? Did you just say that?
No, a tan man.
Okay. I was like, he is like a healthy tan too. Like that is. That's not quite bronze. That's like my shade of caramel.
Yeah. Yep. So that's my resolve as a mage. Archer doesn't have to remind me that.
本当にあいつとは肌が合わないな。
But something he said bothers me. No matter what anyone does, there will always be those who can't be saved. True.
That's what Pappy said.
Mm-hmm. There's so little a human can do. But even so.
それでも一度も振り返らずその理想を追っていけるか。
Hey, killer. We are in fact live. Is this
okay?
real?
Okay.
Yes.
Killa, I'm gonna need you to keep your mouth shut about this.
Oh, is he well versed in the approaching chaos?
I wouldn't say he's well versed in fate, but he knows enough that he could cause problems if he wanted to.
I see. He knows enough to be dangerous.
He knows enough to be dangerous, but not enough to know how dangerous he is.
Ah,
The amount of times I've had to yell at him to read the fucking book.
gotcha. Well, there you go. Killer says, I know there's a cup.
I just want the cup.
I muttered to myself. It felt like that's what Archer wanted to say. Save the game. Yes.
Minor spoiler, that will not be the last Archer pep talk, but I really like each time we get one.
We love Archer pep talks.
They're usually so full of hope, aren't they?
Yes, I agree. That's why we do not turn down the wisdom of our elders.
And he sure is elder. Dude has white hair.
I think you might have
How you
just
know
been
he's
born like
Asian.
that.
That's how you know he's Asian. He's got those early stresses.
Lord.
おとなしくしてるのよ。
Dang. Fujine waves as she heads out for work.
私も行くわ。今日はうちに寄ってくるから遅くなるけど、夕飯までには戻るから。留守中。
You clearly don't know me very well yet, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy just does one unreasonable thing after another.
さて
It's 7:30 in the morning. I see the two of them off without incident, so there's only one thing left to do now.
昨日の続きだ。道場に行こうセイバー。
すぐに鍛錬を始めるのですか。朝食をとったばかりですし、少し間を取るべきではないでしょうか。
True, it would be quite a shame and disrespectful to the cook to lose your breakfast right after eating
Tyrion Lannister sends his regards.
it.
心配は無用だよ。飯の後すぐ動けるぐらいには鍛えてあるし、今朝はパン食だっただろ。
Bread is
あんなんで胃がも
carbs.
たれるほど不健康な生活は送ってないぞ。
That is the kind of thing that's best used immediately.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
はあ、白がいいというのでしたら、私は構いませんが。
She's so gentle without really trying.
Mm-hmm.
なら問題なし。いいから行こう。どうやったらセイバーに人たち浴びせられるか、一晩考えた成果を見せてやるから。
Sleeping on it does usually make you better.
Ain't that the truth? I can't tell you how many times I've gone to sleep with so many problems and woken up with all the answers.
To quote the wonderful, wonderful Chris Rock. Have you ever been working on a task it was going perfect, and then you took a rest? Has that ever in your life happened to you? No. What had happened was, you were working on a task, you fucked up, and then you thought, let me rest before I fuck this up some more.
Accurate. Accurate. Goodbye, sir. That sounded like that hurt.
That sounded like a gunshot.
Oh no.
For her neutral special.
Oh. Well, regardless, thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
I'm sorry you had to be threatened to do so, but we will accept you just the same.
We hope you enjoy us.
As Eric said, the cookies are over there. Have an extra one. I'm unable to dodge Saber's counterattack. Both the Shinai and I tumble to the ground. My fingers tingle where they grip the Shinai. Saber's counterattack lands as I lunge in with all my might. I figured brute force was my only option. That's what you came up with?
Brute force over the woman with what, a B in strength?
Huh. Chat, I think he might be stupid. No, let me stop.
He's been getting his brains beat in for like a day. I think he's allowed to be a little stupid.
Yeah, you're right. He has had so many concussions.
He's on a fast track to dementia pugilistica.
Exactly. Hmm. No shock.
No shock that I dropped my Shinai and fell flat on my ass after an attack like that.
Exactly.
今のはうまくいったと思ったんだけどな。
I bet you did.
You sure
シ
did,
ロは
buddy.
その判断が甘い。
Where have I heard that recently?
And he tried to warn him.
This is just what he was letting him know about. Shiro, your idea is stupid. You're going to get destroyed tomorrow.
Hey, you suck. What did I do? You'll know. Ominous and frightening.
Less than 12 hours later. Whack.
いいですか？シロが捨て身になったところでサーバントは倒せません。勝ち気なのはいいですが、それも相手を見てください。
Yes. I.e., you have a brain for a reason. Use it.
そうは言うけど、受けに回ってたらいつかはやられるだろ。チャンスがあるならこっちから攻め込まないと。
その通りですが、シロはそのチャンスの生かし方を理解していません。捨て身で仕掛けるのならば、それにふさわしい好機を待つべきです。
言われるまでもない。セイバー、さっき少しだけよそ見をしただろう。セイバーがそんなヘマをやるなんて、一日で一回あるかないかだから、ここが勝負どころだって踏んだんだが。
とっさにその判断ができたのは評価しますが、今のはあえて作った隙です。
Oh no. It's the bait and switch.
この程度では動じないだろうと期待して視線をそらしたのですが、まさか一直線に踏み込んでくるとは思いませんでした。
Were this any other scenario, that would have worked.
素人をからかってもいいことないぞ。
There is such a thing as being too conventional. Just ask the English. Fighting the Scots. The moment that any commander had a little bit of, half a brain, half the mentality to say, fuck it, the English folded.
Yeah. Also, what
I
what are you watching, Killa?
I
Why
don't
why are
think
you
you're
hearing
supposed to be
colors?
I don't think you're supposed to be able to hear those.
I
Oh,
mean, there is a condition for that.
there's also a device for that.
Oh, really?
Oh, I think he's watching Belle's as well as ours.
Makes sense. Carry on then.
からかってなどいません。こちらで仕掛けた策であれ、好きである以上は多少のリスクを負います。最も視線をそらした程度のリスクと、捨て身で突進してくるシロのリスクは、計りにかけるまでもありませんが。
He's an honorary Scotsman.
Mm-hmm.
要するに小さな隙は静かにつけってことか。大振りだとせっかくのチャンスを逃す、じゃなくて隙の度合いに見合った行動を取れって言いたいのか、セイバー。
He's learning.
はい。ですから、高貴な大小の読み分けをしっかりしてください。ですが、昨日よりは格段に生き死にの境界線には鋭敏になっていますね。危険を察知する感覚が身についてくれば、誰と戦い、何を打つべきかはおのずと絞られてきますから。
Sometimes you just need a little fire under your ass. Though Pete already has like a sense of martial arts and exercise in the first place, so this is really more like it's an easy thing to take to, but it's clearly still taking some effort.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he has the inkling of an idea, but this training is helping to refine it into an actual skill.
Like he in fact he's changing classes from archer to saber right now is what he's doing.
Is that the reason why he feels that he's just so incompatible with Archer? They're just alike.
He can't stand that motherfucker. He reminds him too much of Shinji.
Saber looks pleased. Unless it's my imagination, she seems happy to see her student improving a bit.
そろそろ休憩時間ですね。水を汲んできましょうか、シロ。
ああ、水ならいいよ。夜間持ってきたからそれで飲む。
A whole kettle. Nice. I drag my fatigued body towards the wall. After wiping the sweat from myself with a towel I brought along, I take several gulps from the kettle. I take a deep breath. It's been almost 3 hours since I saw Tosaka and Fujine off. I spent every minute since sparring with Saber. Wow. As usual, Saber doesn't explain much, and I don't ask her any questions while we cross swords. I have pretty much no chance of winning, but I do seem to be improving better the more I fight Saber. I'm not expecting to improve my fighting techniques. The point here is to train my body, not my mind, to get accustomed to battle. It's better than doing nothing, and since I'm starting from basically nothing, there wouldn't be much point here unless I spent time working on this one thing. If all I do is think about how to fight when the time comes for me to face a master, I'm dead.
セイバーはやっぱり汗一つかいてないか。
Did you forget you're dealing with something supernatural, buddy?
Yeah, that's true. They might not even have sweat glands.
Surely you jest.
Yes, I do. I'm a little disappointed. but I shouldn't expect to be on her level in just a day or two. Yeah, exactly. And just like yesterday, Saber rests, seated in a Seiza position. It'd be a waste to just sit here. I might as well take the opportunity to talk with her. Eric says, I do jest, but my name's not Shirley. That's your cat.
She is sleeping, so let's not speak the devil's name again.
You right? Okay then. Let's see. Oh, okay. More about Saber from before she became a servant, or a secret blade technique for dummies. I guess let's continue with the trend of learning more about Saber. Before she became a servant. I wonder what Saber was like when she was alive. Saber's so beautiful, so I'm sure everyone must have liked her. Calling her Saber is what's throwing me off, but I bet she was an ordinary girl who never held a sword back in the day.
How far back in the day are we talking?
Yeah, because you don't get to be a sword wielding servant without wielding a sword in life.
Like, I would like to posit that another Saber class servant, Siegfried, pulled a sword out from a tree and then killed a fucking dragon with it, bathed in its blood, and became invincible everywhere but where the blood didn't touch him. Like...
Ah, okay, so, what's his face? Achilles type of thing.
Yeah, the difference being his weak spot was in his back.
Yeah, the middle of the back, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Fafnir.
セイバー以前はどんなやつだったんだろう。
Oh, he's so shy.
I know. I'm so curious. I just blurt out what's on my mind without thinking. Or even realizing I'm doing it.
はい。何か言いましたか、シロ。
You gotta speak up, son.
あ、いや、セイバーはどんなやつだったのか想像してただけだ。別にセイバーの使命を知りた
Right,
いん
we've
じゃなくて、
established you're too stupid
ど
to
うい
know
う
it right
生
now.
活を送ってたのかなって。
Yes.
はあ。私がどういう人間だったかですか。おかしなことに関心を持つのですね、シロは。
He sees you as a person, come on.
Yeah. Whenever you view it through those lenses, everything makes sense.
迷惑
It's
だったら
still a little
気がして
stupid, but it makes
単
sense.
に思いついただけなんだ。
Exactly.
セイバーはセイバーのサーバントだけど、サーバントになる前はもっと違った人間だったんじゃないかって。
That's right. I imagine she lives a peaceful life, as befits a lovely girl like her.
Oh, honey.
それはありえないと思います。サーバントになったからといって性格が変わるわけではないし、私は生まれた時から剣を与えられた騎士ですから。あなたの言うような違った私は存在しなかった。
Guts?
Yeah. Oh, look at the cute baby. All right. Now that you've stopped crying, here's your sword. Go forth and conquer. Oh gosh.
うわ、じゃあ昔からそんなにきつい性格してたのか、セイバー。
Wow.
そりゃ大変だ。俺、周りの人たちに同情するかも。
Choose your words carefully, man.
I know that can totally be misconstrued.
それはどういう意味でしょうか。
Killer, please. I love you, hot dog lady, king of the realm.
Killer.
私は厳しくはありますが、周りに強要した覚えなどありません。
Exactly.
嘘つけ。今日の特訓ぶりでな、セイバーが情け容赦ないやつだって思い知った。
What do you mean she's merciless? You're still standing.
Killa, I decree you not to explain your statement lest you accidentally leave a spoiler.
Yeah, just leave it at that. It's much more hilarious that way.
見ろ、このミミズバレ。人がちょっと間違えただけで危機として打ち込んでくるんだから。この鬼教官。
Wow. Hit her with the oni.
Okay, good. Killa gave the correct answer.
私は喜んでなどいません。
Aww.
The whittle pout.
シロには申し訳ありませんが、厳しくしなければ鍛錬にならないでしょう。
That is true.
When she just lets that little bit of her real personality out, it's nice.
I agree. This is strange. Somehow never expected Saber to make a face like that.
何ですかその目は。いきなり黙り込むのは卑怯だと思います。
This is kind of the thing that really bothers me about people who think they know Saber.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, the best parts of Saber are the parts that aren't the stoic Knight Lady.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you fell for what she wanted you to fall for. Read the fucking book.
Indeed.
ああ、いや、セイバーがそういう風に怒るのが意外でびっくりした。
そうですか。私としては
Kind
思
of
ったこ
acting
とを
like
主
a
張した
girl
だけなのですが。
that looks like the age that you look like.
Yeah.
だからかな。セイバー、あんまり自分の感情で話さないじゃないか。だから、今のは新鮮だった。
そうでしょうか。私は自分の信念に基づいて行動しているつもりですが。
だから、それはセイバーの気持ちじゃなくて考えだろ。そうじゃなくて、素直に思ったままのことをあんまり話さないじゃないか、セイバーは。
それは当然です。私に求められるものは個人としての意見ではなく立場としての意見ですから。それは今も昔も変わらない。
If you would not counterattack, I would whack you right now.
Ain't that the truth? You will be instantaneously punished for your insolence.
私はセーバーのサーバントとしてシロを守る。そのため以外のことを口にするべきではないし。
Oh, ma'am. But what did you just do?
考
Mm-hmm.
える必要もないでしょう。
それはそうだけど、それじゃあセイバーがつまらないだろう。セイバーには役割があるんだろうけど、それにかかりきることはないんじゃないか。セイバーにだって自分のやりたいことがあるんだから。
Take her out for a day on the town, maybe.
This is true. She 1000% would follow. Especially as soon as you say, yes, I'm going kind of far from the house, and it might be dangerous.
And also, there will be food.
Yeah. Yeah.
ですから私のやるべきことはシロを守ることです。ただでさえマスターとして未熟だというのに、私の言うことも聞かず戦おうとするあなたをこうして鍛えているのではありませんか。
In its own way, we're getting training from 3 sources, aren't we? Saber's whacking him.
Mm-hmm.
Rin's eventually going to be teaching him magic.
Yeah.
And Archer's over here with the philosophy textbook pulling up like Socrates.
Yeah. That's true.
Or maybe more Plato, given Plato was his wrestler name.
Uh-huh.
Plato's name came from the word Platon, meaning broad. As in, he was built like a mountain because he was a wrestler as well as a philosopher and would often solve arguments by flexing.
You know what? I vibe with it. I never knew this.
Suddenly, some of his weaker points make sense when you consider he probably solved the argument by going, I could pin you right now.
Oh gosh. If I ever remake my Muscle Wizard, he will just be Plato.
You need a tag team partner in Diogenes then.
まあ
Perfect.
セイバーがそう言うならいいか。
I feel like this conversation has softened Saber up a bit. She even looks more cheerful now. So as not to ruin the moment, I decide not to press the matter. Smart
Good
move.
insight roll.
Yeah. Next thing I know, it's noon.
お昼時ですね、シロ。
Yes, time for more robotic grumbles of the stomach.
なあ、昼時だな。
Both our stomachs growl in agreement.
飯にしよう。セイバーはなんか食べたいも
Turns
のはあるか
midnight. I am eating beef again, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Perfect.
私は特にシロが用意してくれる食事なら
Aww.
おおむね満足しています。
Look at that, so blissfully content.
He is the best cook, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Saber puts it kind of oddly. Well, at least she's not picky like Tosaka.
じゃあ買い出しに行ってくる。昨日と同じくらいに帰ってくるから今に行っててくれ。
Even
No.
he's getting softened up. You can hear his voice.
Mm-hmm. Also, no, it should not take you as long. You should be back earlier.
Yeah, you do not. Are you planning on running into that little girl again at this point?
That's what it sounds like to me.
はい、期待しています、シロ。
Oh, that smile.
Alright, here we go. I decided to try making shrimp balls for lunch. I've always wanted to try making them at home. Sounds good.
Yeah, the hard part for shrimp about me is always just the shell. I do like the meat itself. So ground shrimp might be the better choice for me, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just de-shelled shrimp. Probably end up still having to deal with the tail, but I mean, just pop that off and you're good.
Like I can handle the shell of a crab. For some reason, it's just the shrimp that gets me.
Interesting.
Because, like, crab shell's fun. If that makes sense.
You're right. You thought that your shell could protect you? Crack. Now your meat is mine. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Not really crunch, but you get what I'm saying. Chew, chew, chew. There we go.
You ideally should not be, crunching if you busted open the shell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and like, even if you are eating like a soft shell crab where you can actually eat the shell, it's soft, so still just chew, chew, chew.
It's like when you have a potato and egg taco, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should not be tasting a crunch because that means you need to fight the chef right now for getting an eggshell in your taco.
Exactly. Truly, there is nothing worse in life than discovering shell in your eggs.
Let alone in a taco.
Mm-hmm.
マスタードも買ったし、3時のお茶受けも OK と。
3 o'clock snack time.
I never would have thought to use mustard and shrimp.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. unless it's for the snacks at 3 o'clock, which is even weirder. But I don't know.
That's a snack could be like a burger, maybe. You know,
Yeah,
like a slider.
yeah. That's
Then again,
true.
that's a very American thought.
Yeah, and going off of what he planned to buy and actually bought, but then ended up giving away, he got some dorayaki last time, and that definitely wouldn't have any mustard. I don't
Maybe we
know.
should let the man explain himself.
Yeah, I load my purchases onto my bike, and you safely ride away without incident, right?
Waddle waddle.
That reminds me, I met Ilya here yesterday. Look around and ride swiftly.
あいついないな。
Okay, good. Well, she probably shouldn't be coming here every day. Somehow not seeing her is disappointing, though. I haven't told Saber or Tosaka about meeting Ilya yesterday. You need to do that. She didn't confront me as an enemy, and I'm hesitant to tell them about her in the first place. You should do it.
まさかな。昨日いたからって今日もいるって話でもない。
You're triggering a flag. Get out of there. So I really should get on my bike and... Okay. I see. Fork in the road. Swing by the park or go straight home. We're going straight home. We are not inviting any danger to ourselves. Not today.
Do not tell the vampire come in.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Reminds me of there's this webtoon, I want to say that is called Mean Girls, but it's basically a webtoon made by the Merriweather
Ah,
studio, and there is a small little mini series for the femboy vampire,
oh.
and and he is just constantly harassing this one dude, like, hey, you should let me in, knocking on his door, and of course the dude is just ignoring him. And in the most recent chapter, Wyndon showed up in his classroom because apparently he's a teacher. And the
Yeah.
dude is like, what are you doing here? Absolutely hilarious.
I should get back to that story idea, but that can wait for when I should probably write original stuff before I go back to fan fiction.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry. You are, in fact, the one vampire that is allowed to visit Eric.
Kayla, we're not going to the little girl park. I know you would like it for us to do so, however.
Absolutely hilarious. Eric, you know what to do. Drop it in out of context.
I... Fuck. We're going home then, Richie.
Yes, we're going straight home. Exactly. Stop making the girl starve. You were late enough yesterday. Saber's looking forward to lunch, and I'm really not in any position to make a detour. I don't have the time. So I make the shrimp balls. Shumai, if you will. At least I think that's what it's called. One of my specialties. Hold on. You said it's one of your specialties, but you've always been looking forward to making it at home? Which is it, dude? It's not really a proper meal. If anything, it's more like a snack to have with alcohol or something. I learned to make it while working at a izakaya bar. Tracks.
You're like 17, dude. Why were you working at a bar?
You know, stranger things do happen.
I know, but when drinking age is 20, that weird ass number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shiro, これはとても熱い。
Oh? Did you make it too spicy? Oh no, it's just actually hot temperature. Got it. Saber tries to put the fried ball, which is between the size of a golf ball and a tennis ball, into her mouth.
セイバー猫舌だっけ？それともこういう大雑把な料理ダメとか？
It's crude about a ball.
I don't know.
いいえ、どちらも問題ありません。この暑さは面白いですし、味付けも粗雑であり
Maybe
なが
it's
ら、
just a small
きめ
amount of
細かい
mustard
気
then.
配りが感じられる。
Yeah.
そうか。セイバーが気に入ってくれてよかった。
Plus, it might be sweet mustard and just not said so.
麺は大
True.
河に分けてあげられないのが残念です。
What do you mean a shame? More for us.
Ain't that the truth? Saber continues eating in silence. She's eaten more than usual, so I figured she worked up an appetite training this morning. See, this is why I rushed home to feed you. Praise me.
She really is a cat.
This may not be very manly, but I really like having people eat food I prepare. All the more so when they say it's delicious.
He's a housewife.
Yes. But also, quite true. It is always a great feeling whenever you cook something and everyone's like, yes, this is fantastic. And it's like, good. Made the effort completely worth it. Like my usual thing to cook whenever we have like a big get together potluck type of thing is always dumplings, like pot stickers.
You tip your cultural hand by saying potluck, by the way.
Well, yes, of course.
I understand. I get you though. Like once, I couldn't make meatballs, but I did make my own spaghetti sauce and mix it in with like chopped ham.
Ooh.
And the ham came out perfect. The sauce was a little too salty.
Oh.
Turns out adding more sugar does not counteract too much salt.
Yeah, I agree.
The ham was just fine though.
Yeah, sugar does not counteract the salt.
The solution is just to not add too much salt in the first place.
Yes.
You can do too much sugar, but don't overdo the salt.
Yeah. Oh god.
Like even though no one else ate it, I was eating and going, yeah, you know what? If I just don't mess up the sauce next time, this is pretty good as an alternative to, actual meat sauce.
Mm-hmm. But usually what I do if I do find myself making something a little bit more saltier than it should be, I make whatever the accompanying side dishes a little bit more bland, so that way as they're eating together they balance each other out.
Oh god, Eric did get the clip.
Of course. I requested it. Of course he's going to deliver. He's my homie. Always can count on him. Oh, she's so sad. Saber is staring intently at her empty plate.
セイバー、足りないのならおかわり作るけど。
She's feeling conflicted about how good your cooking is. What did you do to her?
いえ、もう十分に堪能しました。足りないなど、そのようなことはありません。
Oh, that look. Absolutely hilarious.
The cat that ate the canary.
Literally.
じゃあ食後のお茶にしようか。すぐに入れてくるから待っててくれ。
Pick up the empty plates and head to the kitchen. After I put the dirty dishes in the sink, I put the kettle on to get the tea started.
そうだ。そういえばたまには違ったお茶も。
I stick my head out from the kitchen, but then I hear something.
しかし、これは問題だ。シロの料理は美味しい。
Imagine having such a problem. Your personal chef is too good.
He's gonna go to the next war, just. You don't make it like he made it.
That's true. That's true.
彼に今から食事を断たれてしまったら、私は間違いなく戦闘意欲をそがれてしまう。
Name a more accurate reason to continue fighting. The food's just too good. And I would not be able to continue enjoying this food if I died. So thus, I must continue to live.
私もまだ甘い。何度か経験したはずなのですが、兵糧攻めとは、かくも恐ろしいものだったのですね。
Excuse me?
Wow.
All this while she was just hanging his head, just poking it out back into the kitchen.
Yeah, basically.
Just like, oh, I'll come back later.
なんだ。
The music.
Me too, buddy.
I take back what I just said. Time to stop putting so much effort into my cooking. If I make my meals more elaborate, she might end up making me her personal cook.
Are you not already?
Exactly. You make it sound like something's going to change. Yep. Too much of a good thing doesn't help anyone. We finish eating lunch, then continue our training in the afternoon. I keep crossing blades with Saber, never getting tired of it. We keep training and only plan to stop when Tosaka and Fujine come home. But our training is interrupted by the sound of the doorbell.
You can hear that from here?
Theoretically, they have a chime extender. But there's
I
no
suppose.
way that the doorbell only rings in like a certain part of the house, given how big this place is, you know?
No, I know. I'm thinking in the houses that I grew up in, like I can't hear the doorbell from where I'm at.
Well, yeah. Practically outside. That tracks.
I Well, like at my grandma's house, right? Like you could
Yeah.
be in her half of the house and you just wouldn't be able to hear the doorbell unless you were, you know,
In
on
the
the
front
half where the
room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no wonder Granny thinks she doesn't get any guests. She can't answer the door.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. And like the same is even true for like my place. Like the doorbell rings and you can hear it in the front half, but like if I'm in my room or like have music playing like while I'm cooking in the kitchen or whatever, yeah, more often than not I'm just not going to hear it or notice it. But that's what the notifications I get on my phone is for. Because the moment that you step on the porch, I get notified. A stranger has been detected.
Sometimes it's just a bird.
I haven't had that happen as of yet. They haven't just walked up to my porch. So usually, if it does go off, it is because someone has walked up to the door. And most of the time, it's someone who walked up, left their card saying, "Hey, you need someone to cut your yard?" And they just stuck their card in my door. And then kept on pushing as they went to literally every other house in the neighborhood.
Goodness.
Yeah, I have a small stack of cards. It's a little insane.
シロ、来客のようですが。
ああ、ちゃんと聞こえた。ちょっと出てくるから、セイバーはここにいてくれ。
いえ、招かれざる客ということもありえます。万が一に備えて同行しましょう。
Stranger danger and all that. You know? Saber does have a point. But while she's right, if the visitor is just a neighbor, they might get suspicious of Saber. The neighbors do think I'm the only one living here. I mean, given all the people that are coming through and some of them only leaving in the morning and then coming back, it ought to be pretty easy to put two and two together that it's not just you here anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways.
そん時はそん時か。
Exactly. Sakura and Fujine already come and go freely, so there's no point in me worrying about the neighbors. Plus, anyways, this is family friend come to visit.
You know, distant relative, as you said.
Yeah.
よし、ついてきてくれ、セイバー。ただし、お客さんが普通の人だったら、おとなしくしててくれよ。
わかっています。私はシロの遠い親戚ということですね。
そうそう。それでよろしく。
All right, who's at the door?
今出ます。
You know, like a non-related cousin. I feel like is the play you have to go with.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, she's not the daughter of my dad's brother. She's like the daughter of my dad's brother's wife.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. Exactly. I rushed to the entrance amid the sounds of incessant ringing. Oh.
お邪魔する。
Aha!
具合が悪いというから様子を見に来たぞ、エミヤ。
I knew it was only a matter of time. Oh. It's not an enemy or a neighbor. It's a friend from school.
なんだ、一世か。
なんだとは失礼だな。見舞いに来た知人に対して取る態度か、それが。
Yeah. Even as Issei complains, he hands me a paper bag.
なんだよこれ。リンゴ？
Ringo.
見舞い品だ。普段風邪一つひかぬエミヤが病欠しているのだから、それぐらいは持参する。
What a homie. I'm grateful
Oh,
for his concern. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can appreciate a homie bringing a manzana.
Exactly.
I prefer, you know, a manzanita, the drink, but, you know, we'll take this.
Hey, you know.
Have you ever had an apple soda, Richard?
I think that I have, but not anytime recently enough to immediately recall the flavor.
Refresh your taste at some point. It is... That'll kick you into gear.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Because I love my Juaritos. Love those sodas.
That's my brother.
Mm. I'm grateful for his concern, but unfortunately, I didn't take a day off because I'm sick. And besides, a bag full of apples doesn't seem appropriate for a young guy like him to bring as a get well soon gift.
He's concerned because usually idiots don't catch colds.
That is how that works.
どうしたエミヤ果物は苦手だったか
いや、好きだよ。そうだな。いろいろ複雑だが、気持ちはありがたく。
Just kind of looking, I'm like, how old are you again? I thought we were the same age. What kind of old man are you bringing me apples? Are you my grandpa now?
I mean, yeah, he's getting ready for the transition to monkdom, where he has to be so
yeah.
sage-like.
It's amazing how much older you live when you have to give up your luscious hair.
Yeah. I bowed to him to show my appreciation.
エミヤつかぬことを聞くのだがお前の後ろにいる女性は何者だ
I was wondering if Saber was still there. Oh, fantastic.
Oh.
Saber is standing just behind me. Oh. I get it. Issei must have locked eyes with Saber when I bowed to him.
見たことのない御人だがなぜか
What's that supposed to mean?
家にいるのだ
Issei gazes intently at Saber. He's extremely shy and always cold to new people and people he doesn't like.
いや、彼女はセイバーって言って、その。
You're blowing it.
シローの遠い親戚です。この家の主人だったキリツグが外国にいた折、懇意にさせていただきました。先日こちらに観光に来たのですが、縁を頼りに宿を借りているのです。
ね。
Wow. Girl was practicing in the mirror or something.
Basically. Saber makes the story sound pretty convincing.
エミヤのお父さんのお知り合いでしたが聞けばかなりの旅行好きと聞いています。あなたのような人と知り合いになることもあるでしょう。
You gotta stop reacting. You're underselling the bit.
You're giving up the game.
Oh gosh. Issei, who's supposed to be extremely bashful around strangers, accepts the story so easily. Well, yeah, it's just to believe in a story. Bashful's got nothing to do with it.
なるほど。事情は分かったぞ、エミヤ。
Excuse me.
Oh, here we go.
病欠というのは口実で観光に来た彼女の案内をしていたのだな。
I don't like the way you put that.
ああ、まあ、そういうことになる。
Could you
Yes.
Look, you've got to pick a lane. Are you American or Japanese, buddy?
Well, in broad terms, nothing I've said is entirely untrue. I think.
ならお邪魔しても構うまい。ここまで運んできた礼として茶でも振る舞ってくれ。ここ2日ばかり学校で起きた出来事でも世間話にしよう。
What a homie. Here's
Back
the-
to normal immediately the moment he realizes, oh, you're not even sick. You're just hanging out with a girl.
Basically. Issei takes
like-
off his shoes and steps into the house.
I feel like you'd have that same reaction if you came to visit me and found out I wasn't even skipping because I was sick.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
なんだよ、俺って。一応忙しいんだぞ、俺。
What, getting beat up? You're fine.
Right. Like, what do you mean you're busy? You're just covered in sweat and bruises? Huh?
Thought you said you were relatives.
お前うちの前に自転車を乗り捨てて行っただろ。
There it is. I
I
knew.
suppose he couldn't exactly bike with her unconscious.
I mean, that's sort of kind of what I was imagining had took place, and I was very confused and wondering how he did it. But yeah, he left the bike. That makes perfect sense.
It did mention it took him an absurd amount of time because he had to carry her on foot.
You right. You right. Yeah, you did bike up there. Man, the stream lasted just long enough for us to come full circle. 'Cause that's what we started with. Oh yeah, the bike is up there at the temple. It's like, all right, whenever Issei leaves, we can pack it up and call it a day.
だろう。それを持ってきてやったのだ。
What a homie.
俺とて忙しい中、生徒会に行かずまっすぐ家に帰りここまで戻ってきたのだ。それでも茶の一つも出せないというのかお前は。
Yeah, man's tired.
Come on, master of the house.
He did, in fact, do me a favor. I might have 3 bikes, but out of the 3, the one I left at Ryoto Temple is the most expensive. And my favorite.
悪いセバ、少し休憩ってことでいいか。
Saber nods silently.
すまない。それじゃあ、セイバーと一星は今に行っててくれ。俺はお茶入れてくるから。一星は日本茶、セイバーは紅茶でいいんだよな。
Good old Cha.
私も同席するのですか？それはどうかと思います。私がいては語学言うと気軽な話などできないでしょう。
What do you take me for? I have nothing to hide. Wait, no, that's a lie. Actually, I probably have a lot to hide from you.
Right.
そんなことないぞ。だろ、一星。
女はやかましいが、セーバーさん
Excuse
の
me?
こともある。つつましい女性は文化遺産だ。
My lord. That was truly a statement.
I guess that's what you would expect from a monk.
Must give up all worldly desires and all. Wow.
だってさ。じゃあ先行っててくれ。
はい。それはわかりましたが。
You tell me your shine now.
Well, someone's gotta be the shy one. And they can't both be shy.
なんだ。他に何かあるのか。
飲み物でしたら、私も日本茶を。緑茶は嫌いではありません。
Green tea.
Green with honey is my personal favorite.
An excellent combination. Saber is fairly opinionated for some reason. It's odd hearing her say that in her usual tone.
We just got through the fact that you're her personal chef. Of course she's gonna have opinions.
After about an hour of meaningless chatter, Issei decides to head home. Most of the small talk in the living room was about school, and I asked a few sly questions to find out if anything unusual was going on. But it seems like business as usual.
それではな。明日も休むのか、エミヤは。
So casual.
今週は学校には行かない。明日もセイバーに付き合ってもらわないといけな
So
いから。
that makes this Friday. No. It's Saturday they have off. They show up again on Sunday. So this would be Thursday.
ま、あの御人と一緒
No,
な
it
ら問題はな
should
かろう。
be Sunday off,
何かと不審
and
な
then
と
they
ころは
go
な
on
く問い
Saturdays.
ただすまでもない。
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
vicious aspects. Get off my back, man.
Thank you for your discretion, not prying into all the inconsistencies in my cover story. Issei nods as if satisfied. Now that I think about it, how could such a shy guy warm so quickly and easily to Saber? I mean, it's Saber. What more do you need?
I feel like I could show Saber to my mama and she could prove.
Right?
なあ伊勢お前セイバーとは初対面だったのに機嫌が良かったけど
Like, don't get me wrong, there are fake girls that I love who I would never dare bring home to my mama.
Yeah?
I'm thinking of one Frenchie in particular, actually.
Uh-huh.
And it has nothing to do with the Spaniard in our blood. And everything to do with she is, I feel like the first question would be, why is she so pale? And the second question would be, why is she so cussy?
Uh-huh.
And the third would be, why are you so whipped?
A good final question.
何を言うか。これでも寺の飯で育った身だぞ。人の良し悪し
Oh, that's right, he has passive sense good and evil. I forgot.
That's true.
悪い人間のはずがない。
That's true. Behold the power of Monk.
Behold the power of... that's more paladin at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
He in fact took one look at her, said, lawful good. I see. And then carried on.
Basically.
へえ伊勢そういうことわかるんだちょっと見直した
I have to say that's the reason why he's just fundamentally incompatible with Tosaka.
He senses the neutral evil.
Mm-hmm.
ま、普通はわからん。だがあれぐらい飛び抜けていると未熟者でも見て取れる
Oh, she's just that good. Okay.
Yeah.
見習い坊主でも傍らに神仏がおられれば新規ぐらいは感じられる。つまりそれぐらいセーバーさんの佇まいは美しい。
Well, there you go. It's obvious, he said.
The sword of the morning of this world, even.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a reference you get at least. I talked about that.
Yes, exactly. I understood that reference.
Oh, Arthur Dane. What a shame that you were the most important character, but you died before the books even started.
It'd be like that sometime. Well, that's rare. Issei's praising a girl.
そうか伊勢もセイバーのことを気に入ってくれたのか
That's good. I was worried Issei wouldn't like her because all she did was listen to us talking.
Didn't you pay attention? That's why he likes her.
彼女はいい子じゃ。
Exactly.
嫌うのは難しい。
けどないいやつなのはわかるんだけどちょっと不愛想だろ
Aloof? I guess I can see that, especially, her outward appearance.
Mm-hmm. Not really reacting to everything.
え？不愛想かあの子。
不愛想だよまだ笑ったこともないし俺たちがバカ笑いしていた時だってムスッとしたままだったじゃないか
Alright, so now what did you see from your perspective?
Please enlighten us, Glasses Coot.
結構笑っていたが。
Yeah? Behold the power of the Magane. You notice all the small details.
Was not ready for that.
That's ridiculous. Sure, I've seen the occasional warm expression on Saber's face, but I've never seen her actually smile or laugh before.
そうだセイバーが腹を抱えて笑っている姿なんて想像できないぞ俺
いや、そういうのではなくてだな。お前が笑ってるのを見て笑っていたのだが、なんだ、気がついてなかったのか。
Oh.
Huh? She was smiling when she saw me laugh?
あのさ、それ、俺のことをバカにしてるってこと
バカ。
なのか。
Wow.
なるほど。また珍妙な解釈をする。
That's what I'm saying.
ま、そのあたりは己で悩め。何事も自問することより始まるのだ。カツ。
Ah, yes. Issei, priest-son that he is, ends with his usual catchphrase and leaves my house laughing.
なんだ、あいつ。
We as fully grown adults know exactly what this means, at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He leaves me with his cryptic comments. Idiot. At least he could have said goodbye. The sun is setting, so today's training ends. And I think that's a good point to end for today.
Yeah, we got like so many training lessons in.
Yeah.
We even got a scolding from the Red Knight.
Yeah. Surprise bonus lesson. But with that, thanks everyone for joining. Catch you next time.
Ciao, Bella, everybody.